What did Prime Minister Alexis Tsipras have to say for himself then after the pro-government rallies that we saw images of at the top of the show?
Yeah, around 12,000 people in Syntagma Square last night. I have to say it was fairly packed from top to bottom. People spilling into some of the side roads last night. A fairly festival atmosphere in the square, but I wouldn't say that the line from Mr. Tsipras last night was festive in any way, shape or form. What he said was effectively, vote no, and that will give us a much stronger negotiating position, Anna. He said, you're not voting on whether or not Greece is going to be a member of the Eurozone or not. This is about something different, which is a startlingly different line to what Jean-Claude Juncker has been saying, what Angela Merkel even has been saying. He said, basically, vote no, and we will be able to go back to the institutions and we will have a much stronger negotiating position. So he's still very much in that mindset that a better deal can be done from Greece, that the offer that has been made by Jean-Claude Juncker, etc., is not the final one, that a better deal can be found, Anna.
Guy, how likely is Greece to make that IMF payment then that we were referring to earlier on?
It is unlikely. I think it's probably the best way that we can put that point across. Most people don't expect it to be made. The interesting thing really is whether or not we are going to be hearing from the ECB on this position. Benoit Cœuré, you guys were highlighting it earlier on, is out in the papers this morning in Les Echos, talking about the impacts of a Grexit, talking about the fact that it can't be ruled out. If we were to see that payment not being made, it could have an impact on the ECB's relationship with the banks because of the capital story that is there. We don't understand yet exactly how the ECB is going to be treating that. But, Anna, it's probably worth listening to what Mr. Tsipras had to say last night. He made some really interesting points. But really, I think the focus of attention is on this idea about the euro and whether or not we're going to be a member of it here in Greece for very much longer. Listen to what he had to say. I think it really stands in stark contrast to what Angela Merkel and Jean-Claude Juncker are saying.
They will not kick us out of the Eurozone. Let me explain why. Because the cost is immense. The economic cost, the financial burden, if the Eurozone is dismantled, the cost of a country in default open to the European Bank with great amounts is immense.
He's talking about the default. He's talking about membership of the Eurozone. He doesn't see any correlation between any of these issues. And he still thinks that they can go back, despite maybe not even paying the IMF, despite not standing up to their obligations, maybe to the ECB further down the road. He still thinks that they can go back and negotiate, despite everybody else saying the exact opposite, Anna.